Hiya, it's Mike here. Okay, so I'm doing this little video today because Avril on Facebook actually asked when I'm going to do my next one. So thank you for that, Avril, for at least letting me know that some people watch and enjoy my little videos. So today's message, interestingly, was inspired to me from the weekend there just now, because I've just been to Rachel Elnaw's party at the weekend. And in fact, she was so hospitable, I ended up staying for a few days. So I was there long before the party and long after the party. So anyway, I won't go into that just now, but I just wanted to say this is quite interesting, because it was, what came to me was, who reminds you to be you when you wake up in the morning? Okay, this isn't part of any of the conversations I had, by the way. This just occurred to me as a result. Because when you wake up in the morning, you have a fresh start. You have the opportunity to be a fresh start. So does your history have anything to do with where you are right now and where you're going to go? And the answer is yes. I guess it's all intrinsically adjoined in some way. But that doesn't have any reflection on where you have the potential to go in the future. So it's quite fascinating. And what brought me onto this train of thought was actually one conversation that I had with one guy in particular, and I could see the cogs clicking, and he was so graciously appreciative of the comments that I made. And it was actually just at the end, when he was going away, one of the other women there actually said to him, I don't even know your name. Now, I'll change his name just to preserve this and protect the innocent, if you like. So I won't say his real name, but let's just say, for example, his name is John. And he said, well, you could call me John, or you could call me Johnny, or Jonathan, but I don't really like Johnny, because when people put E on the end, and it seems to be detrimental and derogatory, and they're bringing me down. And then he started this whole victim story about how people bring him down and when they call him Johnny, etc. It was quite fascinating, because there was a number of us there, and we gave him the opportunity to talk. We gave him his space and his time. And at the end, I just pointed out to him, I said, you know, what's fascinating about this is none of us here had met you before this weekend. And we wouldn't care if you came in with different colour hair or different hairstyle than you have right now. And we wouldn't care what label you gave yourself. Because you can actually tell us how you want to be treated. So you can give us the label. If you wanted to be called John and not Johnny, that's fine. Who are we to argue with that? We would go with that. Okay. So I could again see another light bulb switching in his head as he realised that he's played victim for far too long, and a lot of that is in the training that we've given others to respond to us. How fascinating. So I could go on this and different tangents and so on, but I want this snippet to be quite small. And I want you just to think about what label are you putting out there, portraying, and how do you want to be seen? How is it affecting you? When someone says, I am, what words do you put on the end of that? And who has the opportunity to change that? And when would now be a great time to give yourself an empowering label? Now, actually, just thinking about it as I'm talking, because I hadn't preempted this, but I was given the label of Dynamic Mike probably about 30 years ago now, actually, which is quite a thought. And actually, I love it. I think it's quite a cool label to have, and it's pretty easy to dominate Google, etc., with that one word. And I think it's quite empowering. It works for me. So sometimes I don't feel very dynamic, but nevertheless I've got a label to adhere to now, don't I? So that's quite interesting, isn't it? If that, you know, if my name was Chef Mike, then I might want to live up to that. Six Pack Steve, I want to live up to it. That's who I am. Okay, so it was allegedly Winston Churchill who said, I've always found, given a person what's the word? Giving a person a characteristic. Let me start that again. Winston Churchill allegedly said, given a person a characteristic, they'll live up to it. And think about this, especially if you have children or grandchildren. Instead of calling them stupid or saying you're always doing that, you blah 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 blah, let's flip this and give them the label, the characteristic that you want them to live up to. Okay? So if you were to say, I love the way that you always deal with that, for example, they're going to say, oh wow, so I'm getting love from that action. Does that make sense? So it's no longer about, and you can flip this sometime, I'm going on a slight tangent now, but if a child, for example, does something that has upset you, just adding a little phrase by saying, I love you, but I don't like that action. I don't love the way you did that action. Okay? I love you. So let's get that part most important. Get that part across, that message. Okay? I've said enough for now. Go forward, inspire, and have a fantastic day. Ciao.